Hey everybody, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I want to tell you a funny story. So I recorded a video, and on that video I made these. But the autofocus on my camera messed up and the video was out of focus. So I'm going to film a new video and we're going to make more of these pockets. Now, this has a belly band here. Whoop, it was stuck. It has a pocket here, and then it has a secret pull-out journaling card there. Okay? And as I said in the last video for Making with My Mess, this is our series on envelopes. This is probably going to be a little longer than the one on large illustrated book pages. But I am excited to get into this. I love these pockets. I would have a ton of these. I think they're great. I think even when they don't match up exactly, because that one keeps wiggling, and you can see the line. I mean, it's not like it's hidden. You could probably put some lace up there pointing upward and cover it up, which I might do. But I love these. I think they are awesome. So we are going to make a couple of these, and then we'll look at decorating them, and maybe we'll do that lace idea on one of these and see how it goes. And yeah, so let's just jump right in. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to get an envelope. Now we're going to experiment. One of these envelopes we're going to do this with is going to be small, and we aren't going to put a pocket on the front. But with these long envelopes, and you can obviously do this with a junk mail envelope. This just happens to be some envelopes that I have sitting in a box that I don't use because, you know, we do everything online these days. I don't use the envelopes for anything. So it's just, they're just sitting there. So I said, well, technically not junk mail, but they are envelopes. And like I said, you could do this with a junk mail envelope. So the first step is to glue my envelope closed. So we're going to glue along here, right along the edge. I'm going to treat this like we would when we overlap flaps. So I'll glue along the edge of this flap, and then I'll glue along the edge of where I'm gluing it down. Because I have made the mistake of accidentally getting glue too far in and gluing the pocket closed. Okay, so we're going to glue that down. Let's do that with all the envelopes we're planning on using. So I have both of these, and then I have a small one that I'm hoping we can do one of these in a smaller size. The small one comes from, you know when you're, I don't know what organizations do it, but you know how you get those greeting cards in the mail, you know, with, they're cheap little greeting cards with envelopes and all that for you to use. Somebody wants you to buy something or visit something or donate to something or something, and they send you a bunch of cards. Well, I got some little ones. So we're going to glue this one shut, and we're going to try and use this. This is going to be a really little one. Whenever I'm doing these projects, I consider what books I'm working on, and I try to make at least one piece to go in at least one project. Because I figure if I'm going to be spending the time doing it, I might as well do it for something I know what I'm going to use it for. This little guy, we're going to attempt to make, now it's too small to fold. I mean, if you fold it up, you got nothing left. So what we're going to do is this one's just going to be a card. Okay, so having said all that, let's go ahead, and the other thing I'm trying to do with this is I'm trying to use scraps. Cut-offs work great for this if they're wide enough to cover your piece. If they're not, maybe you could layer or do strips or stripes or, you know, whatever. But I'm going to go through my cut-offs that I've been working with and see if I can find, let's see. That's a little too narrow, especially if I cut off the tear strip. So not that. Ooh, how about this? Let's see, will this fit? Ooh, yeah, that fits. Okay, and it gives me a little, I also like to wrap around my envelope to cover my edges. So, yeah. All right, locating my glue mat. Okay, I'm going to put the pin in this so it doesn't dry out for when we need it for fine detail work. And I'm going to take this baby out. The original Fabri-Tac bottle has a wider nozzle, so it's better for covering the large spaces, I think. Anyway, so you cover these with whatever paper. My idea for these is always to put them down as like a tuck or something. If you didn't want to do that, my other suggestion would be I would cover the back with like journaling paper, right? We glued that on there crooked because I'm excellent at gluing things down crooked. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay. It still folds up. Yep, still folds up. Okay. Now, since I like to wrap, I'm going to go ahead and make a fold here. That's not a lot to wrap, but it's enough. I like to cover the edges rather than when I can. That's not to say I don't make things that don't have covered edges, but I think it looks more finished to cover that edge rather than just layer pieces of paper. And we're going to trim this corner out. And we're going to trim this corner out. So nothing new, just like you would cover anything else that you're covering. And then we're going to, these thin little spots will be a good place to use this glue. And my rag disappeared. Nope, it didn't disappear. I buried it. That's what I do with everything around here. So we get this side glued and this side glued. This up here glued, and we'll glue it all down. All right. So we'll pull this over. We'll pull this over. Where's my bone folder? This one's so thin, this one here, there it is, that we're going to give it a good smushing because these are so thin. And then we're going to pull this down. Okay, and that is our... Now, if you're going to cover the back with journaling paper because you want to clip this in or tuck it in a pocket or whatever, this would be the time to do it. We're going to make we're going to cover the pocket with something. Let's see what I got over here. Like I said, I'm trying to use up cutoffs. I have like this pile over here to the side where I'm setting all my cutoffs. And when I do projects like this where I'm trying to use up scraps, I like mixing patterns. When I do these projects where I'm trying to use up scraps, I grab my cutoffs out and I put them out and I'm like, I fumble through them and I use them up for whatever I can use them up for. Okay. So we're going to put this on the front of this pocket. I think it'll make a good... And I'm going to wrap around the sides of the pocket and the bottom, but I think I want this... There's a really little V of dark red in there, and I want it. I know that sounds really weird, but I suppose I could get more of the pink if I went up and folded over. Yeah, that would be okay. Okay, so we're going to... see if I can glue this down relatively straight. Okay. I hope that's straight. No, it's not. Okay. All right. This doesn't have to be straight. And I don't need this piece at the back. This we're going to fold. This is all going to go inside the pocket. So again, we're going to cover the envelope. I don't need this. I'm going to cut inside here because that's also up the back. So it also is not going to show. So real straight is not a necessity. Being able to get my scissors in here might be though. Okay, so we're going to go out and up. And I have a little bit of strap left. And we'll trim this. I know it seems like a lot just to cover an envelope, but I just really like the way this finishes off the edges. And I'm going to put these down first. The reason for putting these down first is when I put this down first, see this little lip, every little thing that might catch when you're putting something in your pocket, I try to avoid. So this little lip, if I put this down, this little lip is there. So if I put this down first, it kind of hides that. Just so you know why I am picky about what goes down first. There's method to my madness sometimes. Okay. And then that's our pocket. And why are you folding funny? Oh, because I don't have that folded in the back. Now this is just to, like I said, cover the bottom, finish off that bottom edge. And again, if I'm going to put journaling paper back here, this would be a good time to do it. Put the cap on that. Make sure this is good and folded. And then we're going to glue this pocket shut. I feel like I'm always over complicating things. It's not intentional. And I just thought about it. If you really wanted to, that extra flap that you make to wrap around this pocket, you could wrap around the whole envelope and close the pocket that way. And maybe on the next one, I'll do that just to see how that works. I just thought about that. As many of these as I've made, and I just thought about that. And I'll show you what I mean on the next one, because I think I'm going to try it to see how it works. But it would make sense to do it that way. You wouldn't have glue spots in your pocket. You would get all your real estate, so to speak. Okay, so this is covered. I am not going to put journaling space on the back of this. And what we are going to do is we are going to slit open the top. It doesn't have to be a big slit. I mean, it doesn't have to be a wide piece. Like, for example, this is a little over 3/4 of an inch. And there you have it. Okay. And then this is open. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick a card in there that will then slide down into the envelope. So we'll look for card materials in just a minute. Okay, so we have that one constructed, not decorated. Let's do this one. What do we want to do with this one? Okay, I wanted to cover one of these with book page. Now, this does happen to be one of those large illustrated book pages that you saw me working with in the last series. It's one of the ones I pulled out of the book that I never used. I actually might use that side. I like the color on this better. This is a little bit, I like the color on here better. So I'm basically going to take this and use it as my pocket cover. So let's go ahead and put that down, and then we'll figure out how to decorate the rest of it. Oh, no, I don't want to use this bottle for this. Where's my pen? Let's use the big bottle. Get the glue off of there. Okay, we'll put our words down. I mean, I like book page as a background, right? So, see if I'm getting that. This has already got folds in it because I was testing to see how it would fit on the envelope. I wanted to know if just words would be on here. Like if the pages were, if the word section was wide enough that none of the picture would be there. And there's a little bit there, but you can't really tell what it is. So I'm all right with that. Okay. So let's glue the flaps closed. Now this is one where I will probably decorate the back with a strip of something. Whether it be a strip of washi tape or, you know, whatever. Just because it's going to be, see when we fold this down, I'm going to cut it open right there, and it's going to have this neat blue pattern from the leaves on it, but it's also going to, the words are also going to be upside down. So I may put some washi tape on it or something for the back of that strip. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this is the front, so it goes on like that. That's your back. So see how you can see the envelope peeking out here, and you can see the seams from where I cut stuff. I might put something across there to just to, you know, dress it up. Because when you pull the card out, you can see both sides of that. Whereas when you glue this down, that's not going to get seen. I know I'm probably saying obvious things and everybody's going, yes, we get it. Wow, I folded that wide. Okay, so the idea for this was to find something to do this pocket with and then just wrap it around. First of all, I'm thinking we might decorate this with this strip like that. Put that on there. Should I tear it? I should tear it, shouldn't I? All right, well, let's cut it off at the top. It doesn't need to fold over. So if I just put that much, because I want the little postage emblem for a little bit of interest. And we'll cut right there. Yeah. So we're going to cut this off, and then we'll tear it. Give it kind of a torn edge look, maybe. Not a lot. I don't want to tear off a lot. I just tear my postage thing off. And I made all these little, I hate those, where you stop and start and stop and start. I can't stand that. It drives me crazy. Is that weird? You guys looking at me like I'm weird? It just drives me crazy because it looks like I picked it with my thumb. And maybe that's just because I know that's what I've done, but that's what it looks like to me. Okay, what I am going to do, I'm going to cover the edge of that with something. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, just at the top, because I think that's all that's going to show, we're going to do a little bit of ink up here and then put that down. And then I had this that I was going to put on here like that. Maybe higher. See what happens when I ink it and see how it looks. We'll ink it and maybe dull it a little bit. So like if I put it on here and kind of, we'll ink down here at the bottom just in case some of that shows, depending on how high I put that up. Okay, let's glue this on. It's funny, I got 3 of these made in the video that didn't focus. And it's a bit like me, I don't focus. I got 3 of them, and now I'm making these 2 plus a small one. You know, I'm getting a lot of stash out of this one because of the faux pas. Okay, and I think that's cute because this is like old-fashioned rose and this is like stylized graphic. Not really a rose, but, you know, close enough. Red flower. And I think this looks really cute against there. Yeah? Yeah, I like it. Okay. So let's make sure that's all down. And then what I thought we would do, here's just, this looks like a basket to me. You think? Now it's not going to fold over the bottom or the top, but it'll fold around the sides, right? So maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ink on here like this, and then we'll kind of make it a little messy. And this is going to need to go right up against the edge. I think I will do this like this. We'll put it on there like that. Smooshy, smooshy. Make sure it's right up on the edge. Yeah? Okay. Good. Good, good. And then we'll fold it over. We use the bone folder on it. We'll turn it around, and then what we'll do is we'll cut, first of all, we'll cut it off. I just need enough to wrap around. So I've been getting to the point where I really like having these little cards. Even if I have to straighten them up a little bit, at least I have lines to straighten with. But I like making these little rectangles with the curved corners and then layering things. Yeah, I like them as background pieces for layering. So, having done that, let's do this, and we'll cut this. I'm just going to cut this off because it's not wide enough to try and go through all the trouble of bending it around. And then we'll do this to close our pocket, right? Like a library pocket. And then we get all of our real estate out of the pocket. See, look at that. Methods developing and changing as we go. Of course, some of you are probably watching me going, we already knew that method. That's not new. And I know it's not new. It's just I didn't really think about it. I mean, as many of these as I've made, I never stopped to think, hey, if you just wrap some flaps around the back, you don't have to worry about, see, that's sealed, that's closed. And then my pocket goes all the way out to the edge. So yeah, I like that a lot. And then we're going to do, thoughts. Oh, we need to cut it. Here I am thinking we're ready to decorate. We're not. We need to cut it. Put that back on there. Extra famous for drying out my ink. Okay. Let me move this for a second. Lay this against the edge of my board here. Straighten it out. All right, so we're going to take this off right here. All right. Yep. Well. It was a little thicker there. Okay, so we've got a nice sturdy pocket, and then we've got this. This one might also be good for, like, if you wanted to, and maybe we'll do that with this one. I know I didn't finish that sentence. So this will go on here like this. And if you line it up just right, I mean, obviously you can see the line. Like I said, if you wanted to hide it with ruffles or something, you could probably try that. But, I mean, you're going to be able to see it. Okay, now this little guy, because I know I want to use it in my... Oh, I forgot this piece. I was going to stick this behind this flower. Oh, well. I'll use it on something else. This little guy, we are going to find something in here in my kit of stuff to cover the outside of that with. I don't think this is wide enough. It's not. I might not be able to find anything wide enough, actually. Because I'm not sure these are wide enough. They're turned the wrong way, too. They are not wide enough. So we can use these to decorate, but we cannot use these to cover. So let's see what else I got in here that I might be able to cover with. I know usually this folder comes out on my pick a project days, but we are looking. Is this wide enough? Oh, just. That would make good background. Yeah, it's even got a like a pattern in it. So maybe we put that on there. Usually I use this stuff to back cards and things, but I think for this one, we're going to go ahead and put it on here. And it doesn't really matter. I'm going to glue it down and then we'll figure out which end we want to. Okay. All my stuff is escaping. I'll glue it down and then we'll figure out which end we want to cut. Okay. This is some of my Rit dyed paper. Oh man, come on. Okay. All right. So, do I like that as my fold over? Or do I like this as my fold over? I think this has more texture. So we'll go ahead and, actually we'll just go ahead and glue this down. Okay. So let's trim it This is not going to have fold over edges. It is probably going to get glued into the book it's going in. It's going to go into our little purple journal, so. Don't cut the envelope. I hope I didn't cut the envelope. I should not have glued that down. I think we're okay. Okay. I'll find out in a minute because I'm going to cut it open. Oh no, this piece I want. That piece I want. Okay. We're going to cut this open and see what it looks like. I go with about a 3/4 of an inch cut. I feel like that's good. Doesn't really need to be any bigger than that. And that's big enough. And it does not look like I cut the envelope open on either side. Although this side could use some more gluing. Is there any more wet glue in there to glue that all down? And there was. Okay, we're good. All right, and then here's our pocket. Now, I can use, because I'm going to glue this down, I can use stuff from inside this kit, oops, not that, to decorate this. Oh, what about that? I'm not trying to make this get real long or take a long time, but the decorating part, this is the fun part, and I feel like I don't ever get there. So that's still very hyacinth and lilac. It's not something that I would necessarily want to put the pansies with. You know what I could put? That's got a butterfly on it. What do we think about a butterfly? In which case we would switch it like this. And put the butterfly on this side. Assuming I can find a butterfly that goes. I have lots of butterflies with purple in them. The problem is it's also got lots of these other colors that aren't in the book. So to me, it doesn't match. Can you see my box of butterflies I'm going through down here? So let's see if we can find one. I mean, you figure all these butterflies, I gotta have something that'll go. Oh wait, there's 2 of these. I wonder if I could make these purple and like do that stacked butterfly thing. Like that. Yeah. Let's do that, and I'll get some purple ink and we'll kind of tint them a little bit. Get that out of the way. Let's see where we can go with this. Is my purple ink up here? No. Okay. So, idea here would be to clip corners. I like to clip corners. I like layering the rounded rectangles. I don't know what it is. It just... Okay. So that goes about there. Yeah. Maybe down a little. There we go. So let's glue this on. Oh, I need to switch bottles. I don't need to be using this big bottle on these little things. That's putting a lot of glue on there. Do I want to clip the corners on this? My only reason for saying no would be that the inside has this book with sharp corners on it. And sometimes I feel like that doesn't go real well, the rounded corner and then the sharp corner. Again, personal preference. This I want to add some extra purple to because it's a lot of green. So we're going to add a little extra purple to that. And we'll glue that down. So I am finding that I think, and I may have said this earlier, I know I thought it earlier, this envelope series, yeah, I did mention that this envelope series is going to be probably longer than the book page series. The more of my envelope stash I can use up, the happier I will be. So there's going to be a lot of envelope using in Making with My Mess right now. And because part of my mess is envelopes. I mean, I have a ton of them. I got a whole box. And I keep, like, collecting them. Anybody else do that? Like, you know you have plenty, but they come in the mail and you just can't throw them out. So you stick them in a little pile and, oh, I can make something out of that. And it's like you can't outrun yourself. Okay, off to the side over here, I have my mat. I'm going to add a little bit of purple to the wings of the butterfly. All right, he's going to go up top. And then this guy, and then we'll do the stacked butterfly. I know I don't have room for 3. And I don't know if I have another. If I had another one that was really, really tiny, I would put it on there. But I don't think I do. So it's just going to be the 2. All right, we'll glue him down first because he has to overlap the pages. And I want to make sure that I have them lined up the way I like them. So we're going to put him down first. It's a little bit harder to make him fit because he's bigger. Okay, and we'll put him right like that. That should work. Okay, and then we'll put this one right above it. And he'll probably overlap the page a little bit too. So, and that'll be this one done. Oh, minus the card. We still haven't done any cards. Right above him, right there, his wing will just overlap the page. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's really cute. That turned out nice. I like it. Okay, and then this needs a card. Actually, ooh, that might actually fit perfect. How much fun is that to pull out of there? Okay, now, it might be too long, though. Let's make sure it fits. Like you can slide it in and out of there. And I can. It's tight, but it fits. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love that. Okay. And then this will go on there. So we need to cut off about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Okay. We'll cut off whatever that is to this line. We'll make it an even 5 inches, I think. Maybe 6. And let's see if that works. I can go ahead and glue it in here. Okay, so the idea behind this would be to put glue across the top. It doesn't have to be all the way down, and I don't want it squeezing out the end. Ooh, and I didn't cover that. Oh, you know what I might do? I might just go ahead and cover this. Oops. I'm gonna have to put more glue on there. I might go ahead and cover this and then paint the back of it with like, I have some more of the RIT dye that I use to make these. I could just paint the back with RIT dye, or I could paint the back with coffee dye. Or I have, actually purple and coffee is one of the ones I have already mixed. I could do that too. So we might just dye the back of this. Now, admittedly, that's going to mean you have little... I try to center this as best I can because it makes a difference when you're putting the envelope. Oh, I hope I put that on right. I didn't even pay attention. I did. Especially with how tight this fits in its pocket. I hope that fits right. Okay, so we're going to put this back in here. It looks like it's a little too far over on one side. But it works. And there we have it. So that's our card in a little envelope. And it just... How fun is that? I love that. Okay, so that's going to go in my purple journal. Okay. Now, cards for these. Well, let's see. One of the thoughts I had for this was... I mean, technically you could write on that. Oh, let's close this. You could write on that, yeah. Although this isn't a very tall card. It goes all the way down in there. I was wondering, what if we put some paper up under there and made a little pad? Now, the one thing you'll have to watch is getting all the pages to go back down into the envelope when you take it out. So... if I did like, and I don't want too many because I don't want to bulk the envelope out because then this won't sit right on it. Although I suppose if they're both the same thickness, it wouldn't matter. Okay, so what if I have some pad pages and I go like this and I say, we're going to stick these, see they curl at the bottom and there we go. Yeah, see, like that, and you would have a little pad of paper in there. I like this idea. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side, and we are going to... I'm going to cut... I'm going to cut on this line, I think. Okay, use that for something else. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll go... Actually, you know what? I got this working, I think. I guess we're about to find out. I feel like this always needs shaking. Oh, made bubbles. Okay. So I'm just going to put a line of glue. Another line of glue. Smush those down. Oops. And then we'll put a line of glue. And a line of glue on the back. And we'll put on our cap. Come on. There we go. Okay, try and center it up. Best you can. Push it down on there good. and glue it. Okay, and then we have a little flippy pad to go in our envelope. Now, granted, you're going to have to grab this one down here. Oops. Helps if you grab the open end of your envelope. And it kind of has to be worked in there a bit. But it goes. Check that out, guys. I like that. Okay, so we've made 2 alterations. We've done the wraparound pocket and we did a flippy pad. I like it. I like the different idea. Okay, now for this one, this isn't card. How wide is this? About 4 1/4. A little less than 4 1/4. So if we make this oh, I need my tall ruler. Okay, this might actually be too wide. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to cut another sliver off of here. Okay, and I think with what we've done, I'm going to, even though we didn't get these last 2, we got them mostly done. But I'm going to call this after we get this card in. And this is kind of somewhere between a heavyweight paper and a lightweight cardstock. It's, I don't know. It's definitely not thick card. Okay, let's put glue on it. Up there, and then we'll cut it off. Back here. Make sure you get your front on your front. Like I said, I try to center it as best I can. If you've got wiggle room with your card, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but I feel like they tend to rest at center, so. All right, if I put this right here, how tall is this card? Why am I doing that? Just find out how tall it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches exactly. So we are going to make this 5 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3/4 right there. I don't necessarily want it to go all the way to the bottom. I figure 1/4 inch is a nice amount of wiggle room. And here we have our card for this one. And down in there. But there, it got it in. And there we have it. And I would probably decorate this pocket. I actually think that's kind of cute, just plain like that. So more than likely, I wouldn't do anything else to this one. The only thing I might do is put something on here as a belly band and then call it a day. Because like I said, I really like the little strawberry paper. I don't know that I would want to try and put anything on there. So I hope you liked this project. I love these pockets. I forgot to mention this time, I got this idea, and I've done this a couple more times on camera. I did it when I was doing my Mickey Haunted House Little Golden Book thing. And I did it when I was doing I think a Shop My Stash. But I got this idea originally from Miss E. I am going to go find her video and I'm going to link it for you guys so you can see where I got it from. But I think that these are awesome. I love them. And this is going to be one that I hold on to for a while and will probably come back to, like for mask making and stuff. Because as you can see, it not only uses up envelopes, but I use up scraps. Book page. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Little cutoffs. So, again, I hope you guys really like this one. I am looking forward to finding more things to do with my envelope stash. And I will see you guys when we start playing with my mess again. Bye-bye.